Get out for a second, Daddy's gonna take you for a little ride. Hey everyone, so we got the carb replacement kit in for the ZR800. Hopefully that'll take care of the issue we're experiencing. So like I said, once it started running, we're getting fuel just flowing out of the overflow hose. So we got the carbs out. I already cleaned them. They just put them loosely back together. Here's a rebuild kit for one. Because the issue was fuel coming out of the overflow, I'm pretty sure it's a float issue. So rather than taking everything apart, when I first had it apart to clean it, everything looked pretty decent. I could see where the float was sticking a little bit, so we cleaned that up, but everything else looked decent. So what I'm going to do is just replace the seals and the floats in a lower bowl and throw the carb back into the sled and see if that takes care of it. If not, if we still run into an issue, then I'll take them back out and just do throw the full kit at it. But so we'll just move to the time lapse and show you what it's like to put this thing together. All right, so we got the floats and the O-ring for the bowl replaced. So I think that should take care of the overflow issue. These O-rings on both the floats right here, they're hard. So I mean, between that and potentially this needle not sitting, making a good seal when the float was in the up position, just allowed this bowl to fill up and fuel to come right out the overflow. Everything looked pretty good and pretty clean in here, other than like I said, the issues with these, just specifically these O-rings, because the O-rings in the bowl were still good. So the sled was running really good prior to this issue. So I didn't want to open up or make any adjustments to the current settings on the carb. So we have the kit if we need to replace them later on. I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think that should take care of it. But if we do run into issues, we can just do the full rebuild. But like I said, everything looked great. I had the jets out, could see right through them. There's no blockages. So we'll get this back into the sled tomorrow and hopefully fire up and take her for a rip. And hopefully we don't have any more fuel just running out of the overflow. So it's the next day. We're back in the garage. Got the sled ready. Put the carbs back today. I did end up going ahead and replacing the hoses, so we got new fuel lines here. And yeah, hopefully this shouldn't take too long, and when we fire it back up, there's no leaks. All right, so we got the carbs in. Out here with our little buddy. I'll get these fired up. Hopefully no leaks. All right, so far so good. No leaks yet, nothing coming out of the overflow. I let it idle for a little bit, and we'll see if I'm gonna let it sit just to give the, in case there is some kind of vacuum and the float manages to get stuck again. I want to give the fuel enough time to kind of fill up the bowl and come out of the overflow without anything getting burned off. So while we're letting this sit for a little bit, I'll get the air box cleaned up and start to get it back together. So I'm in the process of cleaning out this air box, and figured I'd mention one other thing. So on the top of the air box, you have the tool tray, and on the back side of the tool tray, you have this this foam. So I'm sure anybody who's dealt with this or seen this before in the past knows that as it gets older, it starts deteriorating and falling apart. So what I did is I like to leave this sled as stock as I can, but not at the the risk of clogging up the carbs or running into potential issues where you cause some damage. So this goes right down into the carbs, which then feed the cylinders. But like I said, we're cleaning this up. This sits on top of this like that, so any vibrations or as that stuff starts to deteriorate, it's falling right down into the air intake, which is in turn getting fed right into the carbs. So like I said, I want to keep the stock air box, but this isn't really serving any purpose. So in the process of cleaning this up, and hopefully we'll avoid any issues in the near future. So just to further illustrate the point I was making about the foam on the back of the cover, so that's all cleaned up now. So I got the air box here. It's gonna be tough to see inside, but pulling this apart to finish cleaning it, and you can see that nastiness in there, and that's all the sediment from that insulation I was telling you about. So it's probably a good idea, like I mentioned, to if you have one of these sleds, take a look at it and clean it up if you have the chance. So we got the air box in the sink cleaning out. We're just using Dawn dish soap. That's going to probably be the safest thing on these this rubber boot. If it's safe for ducks and wildlife, I'm sure it's safe for this. The one thing I should mention is if you are cleaning the air box with water, make sure that you dry it, and it's whether you have to blow it out or let it sit for a while, because the last thing you want to do is have the carbs sucking water from the air box. So we'll start getting ready to clean the rest of this up, and hopefully we're wrapping this up soon. All right, so she's put back together. Getting ready to take her for a little rip. Hopefully what? A little rip? Hopefully everything holds up, and we'll get some point of view footage for you coming up. Hold on to the bar. Alright buddy, get out for a second. Daddy's gonna take you for a little ride. What do you think about that, buddy?
I heard you poke me in my set.
All right, so she's running. No signs of any fuel leaking. Heat exchanger's working. We're all good. She studded, but not too aggressively. That's more of a trail stud. My the CFR is still not studded yet. You can see it's empty. So kind of debating whether or not I got a spring for it this year, or just wait till next year. The season's just about over, but might be nice to get a couple of runs with it. But let's take this one for a rip. All right, here we go. Daddy's got to take it for a lap. Go right by the other one. We'll take the other one for a ride after.
Oh, no.
She's on her leash. It's okay. Daddy'll be right back. Still runs good without the studs. All right, so we got the sleds all tucked away in the garage. It's nice to finally see them with some, although it's not much, at least some snow in the suspension. But ZR 800's running nice and clean, no signs of a fuel leak. I'm happy replacing the floats, and just the gasket in the lower bowls of the carburetor took care of it, so we didn't have to dive too deep into those. But nice cleaning, and she's running nice and clean now. Hopefully winter's good to us for the next couple of weeks and we get a chance to get these out. Still kind of torn on whether or not to stud this one. I'm going to price it out and see what I can do. After being on her for a little bit, you get the itch back. So we get those lake racer studs in her and at least play around on the ponds a little bit. But as always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.